You special and she reckless. Baby, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you doing.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how to pose two girls in a shoot, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to check out Deja and Bree, they're going to be linked in the description below. And make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell button to not miss any of my future uploads. And let's get right into it. Psst, you all know what's coming. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in platform that will help you make your dream website, portfolio, or an online shop become a reality. Squarespace has hundreds of beautiful templates, so you will definitely find something that suits you and your personal style. You can build a professional portfolio website in a matter of hours, and you will be able to customize it every step of the way. So it's so you that nobody can deny it's not. As we all know, social media presence is power, and with Squarespace, you'll be able to auto-post all your content to Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr with proper tags and descriptions. Finally, Squarespace helps you with the marketing. They help you with SEO, as well as some plugins for Instagram stories and so on, as well as share buttons, so your followers can give you some juicy shoutouts on their social media. If that sounds like something you'd like to try, make sure to go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And once you're ready to go, use my code squarespace.com/Anita to receive 10% off your first purchase. So we're gonna start. It's the first look. Yeah, see yourself. Cute. Whenever I do a shoot when there is more than one model involved, there is a bunch of things that I always keep in mind that I'll be talking to you about in this video. Whenever I'm doing shoots where there's more than one girl, I always want to look out for a few things. First thing is definitely height. Ideally, you would want the models to be the same height because it will make the balance in the images a bit easier. I think if the girl is too short and one is too tall, it's going to create a lot of off balance and it's going to make the posing a bit more difficult. So when you're posing, you should be quite close to each other, like your best friends. Okay. So you want to be kind of, yeah, exactly. Gorgeous. And yeah, like even like heads towards each other and stuff. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, shapes are good. Perfect. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Wow! Who are we?
Yeah, it looks so... Oh my gosh.
You're so talented, I swear.
Like, thank you.
Yes.
Whenever you pose to girls, you always want to make them look that they are really friendly, they're really close to each other. You don't want them to stand next to each other very awkwardly. It's always easier if you get them to like hug and interact with each other. Obviously, it's great because the girls here know each other, so they are friends, so it's not this awkward moment of like they are not really acquainted and they have no idea who they are. So it's definitely easier to shoot with girls that do know each other. One thing that I always try and get my models to do is to just be as relaxed as possible. I want them to tell each other stories, to laugh, to smile, because it always creates a bit more friction between the girls. I think that's very important. Just the chemistry that the two models have will show on photos. If they are super uncomfortable next to each other, if they don't really want to stand next to each other, it will definitely show. So them being comfortable with each other is like the first step to success. In this particular case of this shoot, it was super easy because Deja and Bree are actually best friends. They were here to celebrate Bree's birthday, so it was nice to have that chemistry between them because they knew each other so well and they were super comfortable, and that definitely helped for the shoot to vibe. The photos in today's video were edited using my medium dark preset pack. I went for number 3 because I thought it was the most complementary to the girls' skin tones. I went with the 3+ because I thought it worked kind of perfect. There was not much adjusting to do afterwards. So that's the final look. Here's the little before and the after. If you like how my images look and you like how I color grade them, make sure to check out my preset packs. I have 2 new out, light medium and medium dark. They are available on my website anitasadowska.eu, and you can get a little discount code in the description below. Make sure to check them out. And now let's get back into the video.
Another thing that I find super important in terms of preparation is to have some sort of a mood board. I think it always helps to have a clear visual of poses that you can use. It's helped me so many times to just revert back to the poses that I've seen somewhere, because sometimes when you're on the spot, it's hard if the girls are maybe not super comfortable with each other and so on. It could be a bit awkward and uncomfortable, but if you have a sheet of poses that work, it always makes it much easier on you and on the model, because she will be able to see what exactly you want from her rather than just trying to figure it out on the spot.
So whenever I shoot with two models at the same time, I always try and get them to have some sort of matching outfits. It always helps to kind of make them look more put together, I guess, as a duo. Yes. Yeah. So we chose this green wall so it fits with the girls' outfits. I think it like binds everything very well. Beautiful. Yes, that's gorgeous. I love that.
Another important thing to keep in mind when preparing for your shoot with multiple models is to make sure that they have somehow matching outfits. It could be either in color or in shape and so on. So for example, with this shoot, I had this lovely green bikini on Deja and this slightly off green bikini on Brie as well. So they were matching most of the time when we had the shots together. And then also we had kind of rusty colors as well for the second look. So each look was matching, and it does create a more consistent look, which I want. One thing that I always try and introduce into my shoots, whether it be single model or multiple girls, is to introduce some movement into the shots as much as possible. With this particular example, I got the girls to walk down the steps, and it really helped because it kind of gets the girls out of their comfort zone, gets you out of your head a tiny bit, so you concentrate on the steps instead of how to pose, which I think is a good thing because it creates a more natural image. One thing that you have to make sure, if you do have the girls walking, you have to get them started on the same leg, and they have to be pretty synced. So sometimes, as in this case, I would get them to mirror each other as with the previous shots, and then they would start with the same leg as well. So they were doing similar pose, and then they were starting on the same leg, so it creates a lot of symmetry, and it just makes the photo really nice and balanced looking.
So I think when posing two people, especially if you're in a situation like where they're on the stairs, you really have to think about what looks good with the two of them, what balances them out. Usually having similar mirroring poses is the best out of my experience, because it just makes them look equally lean and equally just similar in pose.
One thing that I love to do when posing my models in couples is to maybe get them to sit on a staircase or just stairs in general, because it always helps to create a bit more dimension. So what I usually do, like in this example, I have one model sitting on a step up and the other one on a step down. And this way we have some really nice dimensions, some really nice shapes, but at the same time it's not super forced and it looks nice and natural. You can have the model that is sitting lower down rest her arms on the other model's lap. You can have them leaning back. You can again have them mirror each other, which is going to be pretty good as well. But creating that slight off-center kind of symmetry always works pretty well for me, and I really enjoy it. Whenever I take photos of girls, I always make sure that I have photos of them separately as well as together. I find that a lot of the time model agents don't really want photos of their models with other models in the shot, so it's always very helpful to have some separate images to give to the girls, because it's just common courtesy, I guess. So even if I will be doing a shoot that is meant to be of them together, I will still take some separate shots just so they can put them in their book.
So yeah, today is a bit overcast, so we're going for a bit more of a softer vibe, which is fine as well. It works pretty well. My settings are definitely lower than like indirect sunlight. It's 2.8, 320th of a second, ISO 100. Yeah, it's really nice because Deja's outfit is matching with the greenery, so it's kind of like a nice match of colors. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah, so sometimes finding a very simple backdrop is really nice. The reason why I picked this particular area is because it's so green and beautiful and lush, and it like connects very well with Deja's outfit.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love that. We have, she's wearing kind of like a greenish outfit as well, so it helps with just like blending with the greenery, which I think looks really nice. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So usually when you're posing someone, like the toes make it a big difference. If they're a bit too weird one way, it's just not gonna look right. So just make sure that you don't have it this way, you have it the other way, so kind of alongside the other toe, so it's like all in one line. Yes, perfect, exactly like that. If you guys would like to see more of my work and my behind the scenes that I post of my shoots and travels, then make sure to follow me on my Instagram at Sadowska Photo. One thing that you always have to make sure when taking photos of multiple girls is to not have too many empty spaces between them. Sometimes I find when I pose models, they just put their heads next to each other but not too close, and they just stand there, and that doesn't look great. So what you want to do is you want her to lean her head onto the other one's shoulder, or put her arm around her shoulder, or just, you know, rest it on top of her shoulder and then put her head there, just to kind of eliminate any empty space. With Deja and Brie, they didn't have big hair, so that's definitely a bit more difficult, because usually when you have models with a lot of hair, the hair kind of fills in the space in between their faces especially. But here you have to be a bit more cozy with each other, I guess, because you don't have that hair to break it off. But either way, I think angle is also super important when it comes to taking photos of girls that are separate or together. It doesn't really matter. I think shooting from lower down always creates a really powerful angle. You just have to make sure that you don't point out your camera too high if there's just sky behind the models, because it's not going to be that interesting. But in general, when I take my photos, I usually shoot on a wider angle. So I shoot on something maybe like 28 to 35 to maybe 40 mil, and then I shoot from lower down as well, because that creates a nice stronger angle. I am pretty close to the models as well, but that creates like this nice distortion where their legs look super long and their torsos look nice and lean as well. So this is something that I always do as well. As I said, I do it with just normal regular shoots as well, but I find that the angle is super important, because if you shot from higher up, it would not be the same look for sure. To sum it up, I think preparation is key when it comes to shooting with multiple models. I think you want to have a strong mood board that you can refer it back to in case you run out of posing options. Another thing that you want to prepare is similar styling, either in color or in shape or in type of swimwear. In this particular shoot, I made sure that my colors were matching with the actual hotel that the girls were staying at. So the first look was kind of nice and green, and we shot it against some greenery. And then the second look, we shot against the beautiful tiles. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Also, when choosing my models, I always make sure that they are somehow similar height and that they are comfortable with each other. I always make sure that they break the ice if they don't know each other, because it's super important, and it will show on photos if they are uncomfortable with each other. When it comes to posing, I usually get my girls to either stand next to each other. You want them to be super close and cozy with each other. You don't want them to look awkward or uncomfortable. You want to make sure that their heads are maybe touching and there isn't too much empty space. If you get your models to sit down, you want them to be sitting maybe slightly bit of balance. So maybe have one girl on the upper step and one on the lower step. It always creates some sort of asymmetrical look that is still kind of balanced, so I like that look as well. Finally, I usually get my models to walk around and to just play around and just laugh and, you know, tell each other stories, because again, the more comfortable and the less posy the shot is, the better for me. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video and the photos. Let me know which ones you like the most. Make sure to check out my team. They will be linked down below, as well as anything that I mentioned in the video. And if you did like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.